And welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We are the Professionals. We're a improv troupe hailing from San Francisco, California, and we are delighted to be here with you online today for part of the Minnesota Fringe Festival that's been going on the last week and a half. We're here on the last day of the festival joining you, and we're going to do a little show for you. We do a mockumentary style improvised show where we take your suggestions and turn it into a mock documentary in a brand new created world that's never been seen before. So we would like to start by getting some suggestions from you in the chat. If you should already see, we've asked for the suggestion of a hobby or pastime, something that you enjoy or somebody in the world may enjoy doing. And let's go. Looks like we have a few coming in already in the chat. We've got poetry. We've got glamping. We've got geocaching. We've got pottery.
Glamping. So that's like glamour.
Like glamour camping. Camping.
I know people make fun of that, but is that a thing that people actually like in the real world do?
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
I have multiple friends who have gone glamping this summer and tried to convince me to go, but that's even a level of camping that I am not interested in.
I mean, so what exactly is involved? Is it like you sleep on beds of pure foam in flying in the air, like with magical things? Like
could be.
Is it just you have TVs? What is it?
I know some friends of mine just bought like an RV that was very fancy and like well tricked out inside, and they take that to go camping and just kind of live the life of luxury while they're doing it.
I have to say that while I don't get the glamping thing, so I am a Jeep owner. Have I mentioned that I have a Jeep? And
now
I always have these sort of like fantasies of like, if the world explodes, I can load my solar cells and my computer into my Jeep, and then I can go drive to some inaccessible place and just hang out playing on my computer all day.
There you go.
Is that glamping? Kind of. I mean,
it could be. I mean,
come out with a little
right. Is it like camping with like a luxury cabins?
I don't even think it needs to be like a luxury cabin. I just think that there's like a bed instead of like a tent. And like being on the ground, and usually there's some sort of water nearby. So like instead of being out in the woods and using a stream or the elements, like there's usually like a bathroom or some sort of running water involved, from what I understand. I've never been.
Well, I mean, most campgrounds have them, and that's not glamping. But I have to say, like, what
no tent is, I think.
No, there is a tent, but there's a bed in it and a TV.
Yeah. Wow.
It's like the walls are made with a very thick canvas, and then they have beds within that, often like the kind of futons that are couched during the day in a bed at the bottom, and they might have bunk beds. I have not been glamping. I actually own an RV, so I figure that's a little bit glampy, but not quite the same because the room is set up for you, and then there's a toilet block nearby that the people in the not so fancy tents also use. Mm-hmm. So I don't feel like glamping necessarily means you're going to have everything there, but your sleeping arrangements are sorted, so you just bring your car and you set up.
So it's pretty nice. It's kind of like a preset camping where you don't have to pitch your tent or be digging holes or anything like that.
Okay, I understand now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the distinction, is that it's there for you and somebody has set it up. So if I load my solar cells and my computer into my Jeep and I go and I drive somewhere inaccessible, that's not glamping.
No, but you can get mattresses that, like I have one, that you can actually blow up with a little pump in your car to exactly fit whatever model you have. So I have a Subaru Forester, and I have a double bed that exactly when you put the seats down fits, and it's really comfortable. And I have these little socks that go over the window to let air in, but not bugs in during the night. So I feel like that's kind of glampy.
That's delightful.
A DIY version.
I know that I could get like a little thing that sat on top of my Jeep. This is the thing that they sell, and it's like,
oh yes,
a foldable tent, and you can unfold it, and all of a sudden there's this massive tent with like walls and things. it's way too expensive. But
They actually sold out early on, and like maybe about a year ago, they were sold out everywhere, and they're not exactly inexpensive. But
no. Oh, you
yeah,
better bet I was looking about a year ago if I could get one. I didn't. I didn't.
Well, anyway, it certainly seems, if nothing else, glamping is much like obscure music genres, is certain to prompt conversations about what exactly it is or is not among the most passionate of aficionados. So anyway, do we have enough? Are we ready to go?
I think so.
All right.
Glamping.
Glamping.
I won't go. I won't do it. The wilderness is scary.
No, I know I'll do it, but I don't dig the hole.
it's so much fun. You get to be with nature. What's wrong with you? Sharon, Brian, come on. We're going to have a blast. No internet, no TV, no distractions. Just us alone for days in the wilderness.
But I don't get to dig the hole.
You can dig the hole.
I can dig the hole.
But I refuse
Brian.
to dig the holes. I do not want any holes at all around me, with or without dirt. Am I clear?
This is our fundamental disagreement because I want to dig the hole, and you never let me. All I want is a nice hole, so I can cover my soil in it.
You can absolutely dig the hole. Brian, I promise.
Thank you. Now, what do you got to say to that? She said I could dig the hole.
All I have to say is that when I joined the Glampers meetup, this is not what I was expecting. I was expecting a manicurist to be there. I was expecting a hairdresser to be there, just in the open. And this, I'm not so sure.
Well, I mean, I got to say, I've had a similar experience to you. When I joined the Glampers, I expected to be able to go out into the wilderness and be able to manage my own sanitary needs instead of using this pre-made toilet block. I mean, ugh.
I just want us all to have fun. I just want us all to be the family that we haven't been for years. I know. I just give it a try. You can use the toilet block, Sharon. You can dig a hole, Brian. We can all work together, and it'll be fine. I'm sure it's going to be fine.
Well, I'm willing to go with it. What about you, Sharon? I'll stay out.
All right. I'm also just very happy that together as a family, we've made this meetup group. So, all right.
It was a complete luck that we all went independently to a meetup group in the basement of a Salvation Army building, and we were the only three ones here.
Yeah, it was a complete coincidence that I put an ad in and met at my work in the basement of the Salvation. Okay, I set it up. All right. Now you can get mad at your sister Michelle. What are you going to do? We're already on the way. We're going to do it.
Well, I'm just surprised. I had no idea that you did it. But I mean, now that I think about it, it's quite clever.
It is quite clever.
It is quite clever.
All right, but I'm going to think about whether I'm happy or sad about you being clever in the back. Goodbye.
And I'm going to sit here in this seat as you drive, and I am going to think how wonderful it's going to be to relieve myself once we get to the campsite.
We're going to have so much fun.
Oscar and I have been running the family glamp campground for 15 years now.
Yes. And we have noticed in that time that approximately 92.7% of all glamping expeditions break down into bickering matches and general mayhem due to vastly different understandings in the world of what exactly glamping is.
Right. So we try to set out a post right upon entry, a large sign that declares what glamping is and what glamping is not. But nobody ever reads it.
That's the problem we're facing today, and why we have taken it upon ourselves to form this international conference of glamping hosts and advocates. We're hoping that if we can get a worldwide effort to spread awareness of the true nature and joy of true glamping, maybe we can get a few more people to just get along and enjoy life.
Yes. We need to start with what it exactly defines wilderness.
Exhibit A. Is wilderness a junkyard?
Some people might think so.
Yeah, and the answer, of course, is no. But, this is part of what we have to clarify for the public.
Is wilderness a sparsely populated suburb that has only strip malls and no real galleria?
Again, no. Although, people who do enjoy, a band exploring, where people, I'm not sure if that's the exact term, but, the people who like to go and explore abandoned places, there is a big crossover between the glamping and that community. So that's part of why that one is on the list. But, perfectly valid pastime, but it's not glamping.
It's not glamping.
Not wilderness.
Not wilderness. There has to be a certain degree of dirt and trees and plants to constitute wilderness.
Yes. But of course, just because it's wilderness doesn't mean it's glamping either. Which brings us to rule number 2. Luxury.
Just what defines luxury?
And what level of luxury defines glamping?
Yes.
Are you staying at a Four Seasons right on the edge of a giant forest? If so, that may be luxury, and it may be very close to camping, but not glamping.
You're glamping adjacent.
Yes. And you're certainly having a good time. At least that's what I hear. I've never been to a Four Seasons myself. But...
Right. Glamping usually does not involve breakfast buffets.
Yes. Although breakfast, definitely a big part of the glamping experience.
Very big part of the glamping experience.
Anyway, we'll be, at the Four Seasons Convention Hall to host this conference next week because, even though it's a glamping conference, doesn't mean we have to be glamping while we're doing it.
That's right. We will see you at Glamporama.
Stay tuned.
All right. It says glamping, so I think we've made it.
We're here. It's great. Look at all this nature around. Don't you just love that your cell phone doesn't work? No Facebook, no TikTok, no Insta, no Netflix, no Hulu, no YouTube.
But how will all my friends know that I'm glamping if I can't tell them that I'm glamping?
I'm sorry, Michelle. I have another complaint. This is way too civilized. Look, there's facilities. There are toilets. There are signs that say glamping. People have been here before. This isn't. Is it camping? This is. I don't know what this is.
Glamping.
Glamping. You said.
Yeah, I
that.
mean when you take away the C and add the G and the L, it changes the whole game.
Well, I do feel like my special pottery cactus does have a place here.
There you go, Sharon. It does. And what a beautiful cactus.
Sharon, there you go again, talking about your beautiful pottery cactus at every opportunity. Why do you need a beautiful pottery cactus in the wilderness? The wilderness doesn't have beautiful pottery. It has trees, and it has rocks, and it has water with rocks in it, and it has small trees, not cacti made of ceramic.
This is the most pure sense of the wilderness that there could possibly be. That is why I have brought it with us glamping.
Give me the cactus. I'm gonna run a test. The cactus is like, it's like your cell phone. You're okay with you don't have a cell phone, but no, you got this cactus, and that's your link to civilization.
You know, Brian makes a very strong point. That is kind of a link to civilization. And we're meant to be getting comfortable with each other, Sharon. Hand it over.
Give me the cactus. I'm going to go and I'm going to bury it out in a field, and you can have it when we leave.
I'll get it back at the end.
You will get it back at the end, I promise. The wilderness takes in all, and those who respect it survive.
All right. But this, I just would like you to know that this makes me a true team player.
Sure. Yeah, you're a team player. I'm just gonna take this, and I'm gonna go to an unidentified field. I found one behind the toilets, and I'm gonna I guess I just identified it, but I'm gonna bury it, and you'll see how wonderful it is to be disconnected.
Oh, look at Brian. He's gone off to dig a hole. He's getting everything he wanted.
Oh my gosh,
Brian.
Michelle, he's finally away.
Not everything I wanted, Michelle. Not everything. There are toilets right there.
No one's getting everything they want this weekend. All right, he's gone.
Okay.
Are we doing the intervention here?
Yes. Will you stop talking so loud? You know when you.
But the intervention is very important.
We're not going to say the word intervention. Oh God, you have me doing it now. All right. Okay.
Just making sure that we're on the same page for the intervention. Okay, intervention.
Wow, that soil was very soft and loamy. It was a simple process to bury it 4 feet down.
Good digging, Brian. Very good digging.
What do you guys?
Very specific. We were just saying how great it is to be out in nature together as a family.
Yes. You know, I'm so glad, Michelle, that you convinced us to do it, because I thought that you were forcing each of us to do something we didn't want to do. But when we got here, I realized I want to be here. I mean, it's not quite far enough, right? I mean, there are still water faucets and signs of people around here. Ugh. You know, bears don't leave signs that they were there.
What?
Bears don't leave signs that they were there. They live in the nature. They crawl through the trees. They cover their tracks.
I hadn't thought of bears.
There are bears here?
I mean, there are bears everywhere. I mean, you know, you think there wouldn't be bears in Central Florida, but there are bears in Central Florida. There are bears everywhere. You know,
to go scream into my pillow. I'll be back.
Bears in the Adirondacks, bears in the Great Smoky Mountains, in the Rocky Mountains, in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, throughout California.
Yogi Bear.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's an animated cartoon created by people. He doesn't exist.
But
Hmm?
he steals the picnic like real bears. I think Yogi Bear is real, just not the car. Like, yes, he's a cartoon, but like, I think there was a real Yogi Bear.
Always based on somebody.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Oh,
He's based
yeah,
on somebody,
a
bear.
bear. Yeah, I think it was a bear that played baseball and was really clever.
There was a bear that played baseball.
Yeah, I think that's the
Amazing.
one that Yogi Bear was based on, wasn't it? He was like a baseball playing bear, and he stole the picnic baskets from the crowds. And while stealing the picnic baskets, he said extremely clever things.
Are you saying that he talked in actual human language? Because it sounds like you're saying he talked in actual human language.
Well, I wasn't there. That's just what they say.
Oh my God, this is so cool. I always thought he was real. I was afraid to say it out loud. Ooh,
Well,
imagine what a conversation with the real Yogi Bear would be like. Would
Yeah,
you
yeah,
like
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah,
picnic
yeah, yeah,
basket?
yeah. Michelle, you're just too analytical. I know. I'm sorry. You're my sister.
You're right, you're
I'm
right,
not
you're
supposed to say,
right.
but I mean, really,
No, you're
you
right.
just got to feel it out. And I think I heard sometime that the Yogi Bear, the cartoon, was based on a real bear who talked. I mean, I wasn't there, but I mean, who am I to judge it, right?
Yeah, I wonder what the empirical research was on that.
Oh, none at all.
Oh, I wonder why they didn't do empirical research. I mean, that's a very interesting aspect of this story that that they went into the detail to have a bear that played baseball and everything. But like, wonder how many baseball games he attended. Was it 21? Like, was it a nice round number like 30? Did he always steal a picnic basket or sometimes steal a biscuit? And why would a bear
Michelle, you're
actually?
analyzing. You're analyzing. You're like an Excel spreadsheet of a sister. You just
Oh,
got
that's the
numbers.
nicest thing you've ever said to me,
That wasn't supposed to
Brian.
be nice, Michelle. That wasn't supposed to be nice.
This is the dream. I've always wanted to be like an Excel spreadsheet. How did you know?
You're completely missing the point, Michelle. I'm trying to give you constructive criticism, and you're taking my criticism as a compliment.
Oh yes, I have heard that brothers in their late 20s that like on average will offer advice to their older sister on at least 2 to 3 occasions within a 12-month period. And it's always good to encourage this so that they feel heard and seen. There was an article about it in the New
No,
York Times
Michelle,
and they
Michelle,
referenced it.
Michelle, Mom should not have played Mozart for you when you were in the womb. This is the result of all of that thinking and analysis and smartness. It's making you miserable, and at least I think you look miserable. And it's making me miserable because I got to deal with you. Have you ever dug a hole?
You won't let me.
Well, yeah, because I know
You just,
you're going to measure it out. You're going to take all day. You're going to like mark GPS coordinates, mark strings along the sides of the hole. Then you're going to dig it down to a certain height. Last time I gave you the option of digging a hole, you went out and rented one of those big old earth movers because you said, well, I can get a perfectly square hole with this. And like, what is that?
and this time I've actually got a round cylinder that has a punch thing and it punches into the.
No, stop. You've come out, you brought us all out here into this wilderness with no ulterior motives, I'm sure. Live in the
Of
wilderness.
course.
Take my shovel.
Hi,
Dig a hole.
excuse me. Which one of you ordered bottle service?
Wasn't me.
Oh, that was me. We're in cabin 16.
Okay, well, see, technically, if we're delivering it to the cabin, it does not fall within the definition of glamping. However, if you're out here in the middle of the woods, it does qualify as glamping. And We've developed special technology to make sure that we keep the bottle cold as we go deep into the woods, and special mesh screens over our cocktail glasses so that you do not get mosquitoes in your vodka.
That is fascinating. I am learning so much about glamping. Thank you so much, Thelma. This is a wonderful place. I love all the rules and regulations and the thought and analysis you've put in.
Mm-hmm. And are you and I couldn't help but overhear, but are you and your sister gonna need to rent our intervention clearing? It has like
Ye-
custom made stumps where people can sit in a circle and
Oh, perfect.
address
And
address the loved one.
lovely. Yes, yes. Yeah, you can add that to my bill. I left my credit card with your partner. For the love, I can't remember their
Oscar.
name. Oscar. Yes, I left that with Oscar. In
Yeah.
fact, I need to go and just um get my get my sister
Oh,
up to date on
Oh,
everything,
hi.
but I'll be back.
I'm glad you ran into you. Michelle, was it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I've just been discussing with your partner. I'll talk to you later.
Oh, well, actually, if you got a quick moment, I got your credit card here. Seems it was declined.
oh dear.
So if you, I know, sorry, it's a little awkward, but if you happen to have another form of payment, we take Mastercard, American Express, travelers checks. Wouldn't be glamping if we didn't take travelers checks. Am I right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just go chat to my sister and I'll come right back.
Okay. Oh, sure
I'm
thing.
so sorry about that. How embarrassing.
Oh, no problem. Understand. Happens all the time.
Okay. All right. See you later.
Do you still want the vodka?
Yeah, I wouldn't give them the bottle service. I got a bad feeling about these ones.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
I don't know if we
let's just
can.
not offer many of the premium amenities until we've got
Okay. So do we
Fine.
just?
in place, secured, locked down.
I've already, uncorked it and everything. Do we just leave it here for the bears?
Well, we'll just have to eat the corkage fee.
All
Or the
right.
cost of doing business. Wouldn't be glamping if there wasn't cost of business.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll recoup it on the intervention clearing rental.
Yeah, that could be. All right, I'll see you back at the clubhouse.
See ya.
You're doing remarkably well, I have to say.
Thanks, Brian. You are too. And you've come to the clearing. You've come to the clearing with me here.
Very nice clearing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I didn't expect you to go outside during most of this trip. I'd expect that you'd be sitting in your tent cabin, curled up, crying about your cactus. But here you are, out under the sun, next to plants.
Yes, I'm here. And I'd like you to remember that I'm here for you.
I mean,
So
I
if
didn't.
nothing else comes out of today,
Okay.
I'm here for you.
I mean, I didn't ask you to come. I mean, this is more of a Michelle thing.
I know this is a Michelle thing, which is why I'm so incredibly confused why Michelle isn't here in this clearing with us. But this is a calming clearing. So let's get it back under control, Sharon.
I mean, look, honestly, I really don't think Michelle gets it. I mean, you're adapting well. I mean, you're out here. I noticed that you're not wearing your expensive tiara. Surprising to me, but I mean, like, Michelle, she just keeps going, going, and going with the numbers and the thought and quantitative, and there's no evidence for that. And you can't poop in the woods. If you do that, it'll be unsanitary. I just,
Oh my God, I could not believe it. You are picking up on it too. Like the obsession with the numbers, Michelle.
right?
Whoa.
Hi guys.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, I just need to have if I could maybe discuss the figures and numbers that like just like I need you guys to contribute towards the trip. Yeah, it seems I brought my old credit card with me and I need to borrow one of yours if that's possible to pay the camp.
This is just classic Michelle.
I have
What?
14 ounces of silver, pure 99.999% silver, not coinage, because wilderness doesn't respect coinage.
The wilderness that respects Visa, MasterCard, American Express, traveler's checks, and cash. So if either of you have that, that would be great.
Brian is over here digging his holes with his
Yeah.
silver as a form of payment in this modern world. And Michelle, you are here making us come glamping and not even having the funds to pay for it. I really just can't. I just must go escape from this clearing.
Can I just get your credit? I just needed to get her credit card.
Somebody here request a clarification lecture?
Oh yes, that was me. That was
Okay.
me.
Good. We will proceed. A lot of people get Yogi Berra and Yogi Bear mixed up. Now,
No, it's Yogi Bear. It's not Yogi Berra, it's Yogi Bear.
Oh.
yes, Yogi Bear was
Yeah.
indeed a cartoon character,
Yeah.
but he did
Yeah.
never play baseball.
Well, the cartoon character didn't, but he was based on a bear who did play baseball.
No. Yogi
What?
Berra was a baseball player,
Okay.
but he was not an actual bear.
Oh,
No,
so the
Yogi
bear
Bear
was based on the baseball player, and then that was based on the cartoon was based on the bear that was based on the baseball player.
Yes. You see, Yogi Berra, human baseball player, had a way of mangling the language in such a way that it was comical,
Well,
which was the
bears are-
inspiration for the cartoon character who
it's-
also had trouble with the language.
Of course, it's that big snout. It's hard to talk. Of course, Yogi Bear mangled the language.
Telma, so did Yogi Bear, the man who inspired the bear, steal picnic baskets too?
He may have.
See, I told
Oh.
you. It's just like I said.
Though as
Well-
a catcher, he was more inclined to prevent things from being stolen.
Oh, so it's kind of a 360 turnaround.
Yeah.
Oh. So you couldn't take his picnic basket, but he would take yours.
Precisely.
Oh, can you clear something up for me? So was Yogi Bear, was he also an arsonist? Because I remember seeing when I was a kid all sorts of cartoons where Yogi Bear was burning forests down.
What channel was that on?
Well, I think it was like public access, or there's like those little commercials that they show, and it was like, "Don't do what I did and burn this forest down." It was like Yogi Bear up there, and I was like, "What? Why are they glamorizing this arsonist?"
Oh, I think you're getting Yogi confused with his cousin Smokey.
Yeah.
Oh, Smokey the Bear, I love him.
Oh yes, Smokey Bear. Wasn't he a baseball player?
No, he was actually into fire prevention as a mascot, and he's
Like a
also
priest.
the trademark mascot of our cigar lounge.
Oh,
Did he also play baseball?
He may have.
So now I'm realizing that the root of all bear cartoons is baseball. So had we never had baseball, then we maybe never would have had cartoons that involve bears. Bears in cartoons are only an iteration of previous baseball players, some of whom were human and some of
okay.
who were actually bears, some who were
Thelma,
bears based on humans, and some. Well,
Thelma, I recommend that we go take a walk because she's going to be doing this for a while, analyzing it until we get back to prehistory. So,
Okay.
I'd like
Good
to see
idea.
the whole.
ipso facto, that means that no bear could really exist in the fantasy land that is cartoons without first having a baseball player that can both take your picnic basket and steal your picnic basket, which leads me to wonder about the history of picnic baskets in both baseball and then consequently in cartoons. Cartoons and baseball and baskets of food.
There's an entire wing of the Baseball Hall of Fame dedicated to that.
Oh my goodness. I am going back to my tent right now and I'm going to draw up a spreadsheet in the dirt. This is going to be so much fun.
So this here is the intervention suite. It's one of our more popular facilities here. I mean, it can be glamping without intervention, but I tell you, if you don't have one, you're really not getting the full experience.
Oscar, I'm just going to stop you right there because I've been having such a hard glamping experience here. I thought we were going to have an intervention for my brother Brian. Then I thought we were going to have an intervention for my sister Michelle, and yet there's been no interventions.
Well, that's because we're still waiting for the financing to clear on the intervention center reservation deposit. So once it does, you're free to have all the interventions you like for the next 24 hours. You seem like you still have further questions and/or things to get off your chest.
Oscar, I'm sitting in the intervention clearing where the interventions were set to occur, and yet still nothing. Now you're telling me this structure in front of me is going to solve all my life problems?
Oh, you reserved the intervention clearing,
Yes,
not
the
the
one I'm in right now.
intervention center. I think we may have had a mix-up on the paperwork. Tell me, is your friend Michelle? She's still
She's my sister, unfortunately.
oh, your family. Well, that explains.
Yeah.
It. Okay. Listen, yeah, for the intervention center, that's part of our budget plan. That is included with the base, reservation price. So you are free to go ahead and use that right away. Although we are still waiting for the final payment beyond your initial deposit to clear for your main site reservation. The deposit is good enough to go ahead and start. You're still not looking happy. I got to tell you, I'm not used to people being this sad at during their glamping experience when they're not either bickering about what glamping actually is or smack dab in the middle of an intervention. I have to ask, is there anything we can do to help?
I think that this is just a cry for help because when it really comes down to it, I wanted an intervention for myself. But yet, I planned one for Brian. I planned one for Michelle, but does Sharon get an intervention? No. No, she most certainly does not.
Well, tell you what, actually setting up the the parameters of an intervention is part of the premium package, but you know what? I'm in a good mood. I'm going to give you the 30-second preview. So why don't you tell me what's the subject that you're looking for an intervention on, and I can give you, just a sweet little taste before you decide if that's something you want to invest in. What do you say?
Oscar, I really don't care what the topic of the intervention is. I just want one.
All right. Well, we'll go to our potpourri sampler here. I'm just going to pull up my little, what do we got? My little intervention topic app. Spinning the wheel. All right. Oh, we came up with you need to stop seeing your deadbeat boyfriend. Do you have a deadbeat boyfriend?
I got a boyfriend, but not deadbeat. He's
I'm sorry. I was actually speaking with
Sharon.
Oh,
This is about Sharon right
part of the
now.
preview. Okay, so both of you, this guy you've been seeing, I got to tell you, he's just not good news. He is dragging you down. He is he's an emotional vampire. That's what they call him.
You're right. That's
Oh,
right. That's what my boyfriend is. How are you so
You're-
insightful?
You're all dating the same guy. Okay, well,
I don't know.
I'm dating a Steven.
I'm dating Steve.
I'm dating Stefan.
Well, clearly, you guys, Steven, Stefan is the source of your problems, and we're here to tell you that it's time for Stevenefon to go.
He should, yeah.
And that's the end of our preview. So if you want more, we're going to have to, we're still going to have that traveler's check clear if you've got one.
Oscar, turns out that their balance has been met.
Oh, really?
Yes. Turns out Michelle was able to somehow get a hold of a Yogi Berra rookie card that's
Oh, look at that.
worth double what all the charges are.
All right.
Steven
well,
has one of those cards.
Not
Well.
anymore.
I'm sorry to say, I think you've been hoodwinked. That's a picture of a person.
Yep.
The baseball
okay.
player. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we found a real topic of intervention here. Brian, we've all just wanted to tell you, you've been insisting that this Yogi Berra person is actually a bear, and we got to confront you on this. He is not a bear. He was a baseball player that a bear was based on.
The bear. Yeah. He was a bear.
No, Brian. Brian, you're surrounded by your friends and family here.
Okay. I just met
We
you.
love you.
I just met you yesterday, and I
We-
think you're very nice, but
In my role as intervention coordinator, I love you.
okay.
And we say this with all love in our hearts, you got to face facts.
Intervention co-coordinator, I too take on a pseudo maternal role and also feel much concern and love for you. And the fact is, if you go to the baseball encyclopedia, there are no earth sign entries.
It was Steve that told you that he was a bear, wasn't it?
I mean, it may have come up in conversation.
Yeah. Further information, everybody. Further reason
Oh.
that once you guys finish your glamping experience, Steve and Nefon has got to go.
I'm gonna go dig a hole and think this over.
Well, that's a good way to go, Brian.
I'm gonna go dig some holes to try to find my special cactus. That's my emotional support cactus that will help me get through this breakup.
All right, Sharon. Well, good talking.
I'm
Brian.
going to draw a spreadsheet on the different ways to break up with Stefan and analyze which ones are going to upset him more or be nicer or kinder to him, and which ones will have
All right.
bigger impacts for me going forth into the world. And if
Good-
it's the
good-
right
good-
decision, and
Good plan,
Oh.
Michelle. Certainly more
Yeah.
probably more productive than digging holes, but you're advancing a little quicker than the other folks, which is good. They'll get there.
I'm gonna see if we have any more vodka left in the cabin. It's been too long a day.
Hey, save me a shot of that, will you? Brian, I just got to tell you, you dig a good hole.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Just the first time anyone's ever complimented my hole digging.
You know, if you ever want to become a glamping coordinator, there's a whole lot of hole digging involved, sometimes metaphorically.
I wouldn't have thought that.
Yep. Few people really do when they think of glamping, but that's part of what makes it the mysterious wonder that it is. And that is our show, everybody. Everybody come on back. All right. Thank you all for joining us. This has been the Professionals Glamping mockumentary experience here at the Minnesota Virtual Fringe Festival. Hope you've all enjoyed our little adventure today. It's certainly been a lot of fun. We are the Professionals, and we're based out of San Francisco, California, and we have a few other shows coming up. If you enjoyed that, would like to catch a little more of us in the future, I'm going to turn it over to Lauren, our stage manager, to tell us a little more about that.
Yes, you can always find out what opportunities we've got coming up at the Professionals Improv Facebook group, but we are going to be performing the next 2 weekends, next Sunday at the Inner City Improv Jam on Sunday night, and also back at our home theater, Leela and SF, also a virtual performance on Saturday, August 28th, and that starts at 8 Pacific. And Aaron, over to you to tell us.
You can always find our shows archived on our YouTube channel, Professionals Improv, where you're watching us right now. So why not hit subscribe?
Ring that bell.
All right. And that's been our show, everybody. Thank you again for joining us, and thank you for joining the Minnesota Virtual Fringe Festival. Have a good night.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.